Great, thank you.
Nirav, can you tell us about your experience at the inaugural LGD Symposium?
No, it was fantastic. The event was very well planned and hosted by DMCC. It was structured on the lines of a tech event, and the participation was also great. I think more than 200 delegates attended from all across the world. Also, a lot of people who were not from the gems and jewelry industry, so bankers, finance professionals, technology companies. So there was a representation across the board, and the discussion was fantastic.
I see. All right, Nirav, so what were your biggest takeaways from the symposium?
So I think the context in which this symposium happened, the current difficult times through which both the natural as well as the lab-grown industry is currently passing through. A lot of people wanted answers to the main question: what does the future hold for the trade? And what should they be doing to survive this phase, and not just survive, what next? I think although there were a lot of discussions, brainstorming, and lot of takeaways from that, every company would have to sort of see what is more suitable and relevant for them. But one key element that came out was that currently the way lab-grown diamonds are sold is mimicking the mechanism which is set for so many years for the natural diamond industry, and that is not really the right way to market lab-grown diamonds. There are a lot of differences between them, and therefore both need different ways to distribute and market them. If that is not the case, then for both it is a lose-lose situation. Lab-grown is going to cannibalize the sales of natural diamonds, and then the prices for lab-grown are constantly going to go down. So I think this was the main point of discussion. Again, the second main point of discussion is that the entire conversation about lab-grown diamonds should not be on the prices alone. It could be cheaper than the natural diamonds, but if it is just sold based on that this is cheaper, that may dent the future prospects of the trade. Again, a lot of minute differences between the two, and what should be done, what are the opportunities was discussed threadbare. A lot of speakers came out with interesting point of view. There was also a session by Professor Rao on the other applications apart from the gem quality or jewelry application, the industrial applications for lab-grown diamonds. So that was also quite interesting for a lot of people, because they see a future beyond jewelry, what is possible, and that is 10x or maybe 50x the market opportunity compared to what is there in the gem quality and jewelry segment of the market.
Okay, any summary or highlights you would like to share with industry folks who were not there or who could not attend?
Exactly. No, there was a lot of debate on a lot of such aspects. People had the apprehension that if it is not for the price, then it will not sell. But there were a lot of positive counter views from a lot of people, and it was encouraging that there were so many other thoughts on the possibilities. Yeah, so storytelling is surely important, but storytelling by whom is also important. So people need to focus on brands. Either it could be the growers and the polishers who can create their own brands, maybe B2B brands, B2C brands, or they can tie up, do strategic partnerships with retailers and create brands. But the story has to come from a brand, and the brand has to, as we discussed, not just focus on the price, but a lot of other factors which could be interesting for the consumer. For one, and that was very well discussed in the symposium, is that lab-grown diamonds offer the opportunity to design the diamond in unique ways, which is not possible with the natural diamonds. So any kind of shape, it could be alphabets, it could be star signs, and then it is in itself a component to a jewelry piece. The jewelry piece can also be designed in a unique way. So you have creativity opportunities at two levels: designing the diamond uniquely, and then designing the jewelry where the diamond is more like a component. So I put forth the differences between the entire models and the thought process between a natural diamond and the lab-grown diamond. So I think natural diamonds is more like a commodity, and it is sold as a diamond, while lab-grown diamonds need to sell itself as the finished jewelry without giving the breakup of the component pricing or the cost of the component, because it is the end product which is going to be more important in the case of a lab-grown diamond. And then the entire mechanism. So in the case of a natural diamond, whatever it comes out of the ground, that is pushed onto the market and people try to sell. The same thing cannot apply to the lab-grown diamonds. Whatever is grown cannot be sold. It has to be a pull system from the consumer. What does the consumer want? What unique proposition can be presented to the consumer? And then you make it according to that. It can be tailor-made. It could be all unique designs. And once you have that proposition, a lot of storytelling is possible. Storytelling is also possible on sustainability, ESG, something connected with some cause. Multiple things are possible, but ultimately it has to go with some brand. So in the conversation which we are already having, I have shared that, but I'm sure two things. One is I think DMCC is going to release the recorded version at some point, which people should look at if they have not attended physically. And second, I think DMCC is also going to prepare a summary of discussions, the key points emerging out of the symposium, and circulate that as a publication. I think that is going to be a must read for everyone. So again, because it is a few minutes of conversation we are having right now, and the actual symposium was full day event, even if I were to summarize that properly, it will require at least 1 or 2 hours. So I'm not going into each minute detail, but yes, multiple points from various angles emerged. So I think I'll just share 2-3 points which were part of my panel discussion, and where I shared my views. I can just highlight them. So I was on the reputation and sustainability panel on the symposium, and one point which I wanted to make, and because there was a specific question also, is what is sustainability and its importance. So I think a lot of people don't really understand the concept properly. Most of the people associate the word sustainability with climate action. So climate neutrality, carbon neutrality, things like that. Now, these are all very, very important aspects, but the word sustainability comes from the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. So there are 17 such goals, and climate action is one of them. And in the pecking order, it comes lower in the pecking order. There are many more important and urgent things like poverty, hunger, clean water, sanitation, things like that. And a lot of people do, especially Indians, do a lot of CSR and charity, and do a lot of work on all these other areas. However, we are not good at communicating that, and people try to communicate something which they are not doing. Maybe on climate action, it is overhyped. People put claims beyond what they are actually doing on climate action, and that is called greenwashing. But instead, there could be so many other areas in which they are actually working, which if it is communicated properly, then it can really, whatever they are doing can come across. So that is point one which I had really highlighted. I think one more point that came up was that the industry is doing a lot of good work overall. Especially on if you see the working conditions, how they deal with employees and the people, the workers from this industry in India, like they are paid 7 times more than the minimum wages which is prescribed by the government. Those aspects need to really come out well, and all that is sustainability. People need to understand that properly. So I think that is one point I'd like to make.
Thank you, Nirav, for sharing your thoughts.
Most welcome, and thank you so much for having me on.
Take care.